Good afternoon. My name is Darlene Lewis, and I'll be facilitating a discussion about diversity and oppression. The material that we're going to go over today comes straight from content from our books, films, as well as the online videos that we've had. The first film that we're going to talk about is Being Black in America. That feature focused on power, unity and diversity, validation, social control, social participation, mutual support, sustainability, social development. The feature, What Poverty Means to This Teen, focuses on immigration status. However, both features, in comparison, focused in intersectionality, class, race, culture, strength and perspective, resilience, social justice, economic justice, human rights, and advocacy. An example of that is in both features is intersectionality. Per our textbook, intersectionality is a person can be more than one thing. In Being Black in America, the young man was black as well as male. However, in What Poverty Means to This Teen, the young man was Hispanic and a male. Let's talk about the features Ask Me, Same Love. Both of these features had a strong presence of intersectionality, class, race, culture, gender, gender identity, gender expression, sex, sex orientation, social justice, economic justice, human justice, advocacy, discrimination, marginalization, alienation, population at risk, stereotypes, empowerment and consciousness, rising, unity and diversity, globalization, community development, social control, social participation, mutual support, sustainability, and social development. An example of that is sexual orientation in both features. Sexual orientation, with both gentlemen in both features had an opportunity to come out in regards to their display their sexual orientation, which ultimately put them in a population at risk. The feature Vision of Wangari Maathai and the Green Belt Movement primarily focused on intersectionality. Again, strength and perspective, resilience, oppression, social justice, environmental justice, discrimination, marginalization, alienation, population at risk, stereotypes, poverty. Also in this feature, it had it had a feminist principle applied in macro environment, which was using a gender filter, a pro-woman perspective, empowerment and consciousness, the personal and political, importance of process, unity in diversity and validation. Also, globalization, poverty and economic equality, community development, socialization, social control, and social participation. An example of that in both of these two features was Woman Filter. And what that is, per the textbook, is women issues being focused of attention. The next two features that I'm going to discuss is What is an Environmental Justice, and Shannon Rain and Janice Steemley, the Gordon Plaza residents, speak out. In these two features, they also had a strong presence. Both features had intersectionality, race, culture, economic justice, environmental justice, population at risk, poverty, strength and perspective, resilience, marginalization, globalization, poverty and economic equality, community development, production and distribution and consumption, and social development. The correlation in both of these features was community development, mobilization. People in the community to bring an attention to their issues in the environment. One feature alone that I want to discuss about is, let's talk about intellectual disabilities. Loretta Claiborne. In this feature, she primarily focused and discussed on intersectionality, disability, strength and perspective, resilience, advocacy, power, alienation, stereotypes, empowerment and consciousness rising, social perspective. And in this feature, she did and focused primarily on disability, which was a disability and alienation. And alienation is separating herself from other people, unlike herself. Another feature that I want to discuss alone is the 3 deadliest words. However, this feature did focus primarily on culture, gender, sex, political ideals, oppression, human rights, marginalization, population at risk, poverty, globalization, poverty and economic equality, social control. That feature has an example of human rights. In this feature, it is shown women having forced abortions, which is a violation of human rights. Our last feature we're going to discuss today in regards to oppression and diversity is the essential blue eye. The essential blue eye focused on intersectionality, class, race, strength and perspective, oppression, social justice, discrimination, stereotypes, globalization, community development, socialization, social control, social participation, mutual support, and social development. An example of that in this feature was the discrimination. Discrimination is an unfair treatment of people based on race, age, or sex. Thank you.